my supervisors called me crying, and they were not informed that they were going to be laying us off that day. And then at 7 p.m. I got a letter, along with many other people, stating I was terminated because it was no longer in the interest of, I'm not sure who, but those are the words.
New at 6:30, Redmond-based Microsoft is planning more layoffs this year. The company tells King 5 the terminations will focus on what it considers underperforming employees. It says employees let go based on performance are usually replaced. Microsoft did not say how many workers will be impacted. Last year, the company cut thousands of workers following its acquisition of Activision Blizzard, the company behind Call of Duty.
We're going to turn to other news and the latest on the Trump administration right now. The president is expected to sign new executive orders any moment now as the list of laid-off federal workers continues to grow. President Trump promises more job cuts. Elon Musk leading the DOGE efforts to downsize the government. And the Washington Post reports Trump is preparing to dissolve the leadership of the U.S. Postal Service and absorb the independent mail agency into his administration.
So it looks like most of the federal workers who were laid off were probationary employees, meaning they had less than 2 years of service or were not fully protected by the civil service rules, okay? So this is your entry level to mid-level employees. And the IRS cut 6,000 jobs, mainly new hires. The Department of Agriculture terminated 4,200 workers, including some scientists. And the Department of Health and Human Resources had cut about 2,800 jobs. And the Department of Energy, they let go about 1,000 workers, including those managing the Western Power Grid. So these power grids cover half of the United States, parts of Canada, and a small portion of Mexico. In the U.S., it covers states like California, Washington, Nevada, Arizona, and some other states. And here's something I want you guys to think about when it comes to these power grids. It relies heavily on renewable energy, hydro, solar, and wind. And the grid is vulnerable to wildfires, heat waves, and cyber threats. I want you guys to keep this in the back of your mind when I say this with the cyber threats. It all comes from, the increase of digitalization and remote operations as to why these are so vulnerable. And hackers can infect the grid control system with malware. So back to the layoffs. Several companies have been, laying people off. And I don't want to sound like I'm not understanding the people in the federal government who have been laid off, but there are other people who don't have government jobs that have been laid off and that have been laid off since last year, 2024. And I made a video about this on my channel, about all these layoffs. I don't know if I'll link them here or put them in the description. So the difference is you have people who were paycheck to paycheck that got laid off, and you have other people who are making six figures that have gotten laid off. So as far as the people who've, made six figures, I would hope that they had some type of assets, some type of, investments, because you're telling me that you've made over $100,000 a year for 10 to 15 years and you have nothing to show for it. Everyone is getting affected. If you're not self-employed, if you don't have your own business and you're working for a company, there's a chance that you could get laid off. So I feel for anybody who's lost their job, not just these people making six figures. So Amazon has laid people off, Stripe, Chase, BP, CNN, Starbucks. You have Adidas, Kohl's, Southwest Airlines, Meta, Microsoft, Salesforce, Tyson, Stellantis, so many other companies that have been laying people off. And they've been doing it since last year and in this year as well, 2025. And this is not the end of the layoffs. And this is not the end of, hardship for a lot of people. It's going to get worse. So leave your comments below if your job is laying people off or you've been laid off, and tell me what field you're in. And if there's anything else you would like me to talk about and discuss, leave them in the comments below. I want to try to help you guys as much as I can. So make sure you like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. You guys be safe, take care, and I'll see you in another one.